I just think video games can make the world a better place. That's all I'm saying. Okay, how? Imagine a game that has the power to unlock its players' potential so that we can climb to unthinkable heights together. Imagine a game that facilitates the creativity of the masses. We could do things, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, like find a cure for AIDS or create artificial intelligence. There's no limit to what we could do together if we played together. Okay, in this presentation I'm going to show you three things. First, we're going to talk to you about how we came up with this idea and why we came up with it. Second, I'm going to show you that this idea is ready to be received by the world. And third, I'm going to help you create a mental image of what this should look like. Why did we create Teemplay? Well, in the 13,644 hours I've spent playing video games, I've achieved world rankings, I've pwned lots of noobs, and I've led guilds to epic victories. But at the end of the day, none of these virtual accomplishments really mean anything. It's not that games lack the capacity to be meaningful. Every medium has its meaningful content, just as every medium has its trash. We believe that games have a much higher potential, not just in the value that they add to our lives, but also in the fun and satisfaction they offer us. I don't know about you, but I feel good for about 5 seconds when I beat a new level in Angry Birds. It's bad enough when other people feel like I'm wasting my time by playing these games, but it feels even worse when the satisfaction I get from playing these games is so fleeting. Until now, games have been easy to dismiss as a waste of time, with the stigma around those who consider themselves gamers. But games don't have to be this way. Games have the potential to stimulate our minds. Nobody would criticize someone for spending their time playing a game to help create a cure for AIDS. And more than that, a person who plays a game to find a cure for AIDS will walk away with a positive feeling about themselves that will last more than 5 seconds. All this talk about games to solve real-world problems. I should qualify that statement with an example. Fold It is an online puzzle game where non-scientist players fold proteins into shapes, looking for important structures which can be used in scientific research. Players were able to isolate a specific lowest energy structure that's associated with the HIV virus. This is a pretty big accomplishment because video game players playing a game were able to solve a problem in 6 days that scientists have been trying to solve for 10 years with supercomputers. This is what I mean when I say imagine games to cure AIDS. The potential for what we're trying to do is unlimited. We are on the verge of unlocking a new potential which will help us solve problems that until now we thought were unsolvable. The answer is yes. The technology is finally in place and accessible. The talent is out there waiting to be harnessed, and the market is already primed with this idea of games for good. Consider what people have done in their spare time playing games like Minecraft and Second Life. Players are continuously proving that given the tools and the right motivations, they can do things which are truly awe-inspiring. The only problem with these awesome creations is that their value has trouble carrying over into the real world. Teemplay's goal is to create a way for the inherent value of these awesome creations to shine through to the real world. We are building an unconstrained platform which will allow other people to pursue their own brilliant ideas. Instead of creating one finite game to tackle the world's infinite problems, we think the right solution is to plant one seed, which has the potential to grow in many directions. We are confident that the game that we're making today will ultimately pale in comparison to what we, and I'm including you here, can build together in the future. But it has to start somewhere. So the first thing on Teemplay's agenda is to create a fun game. But our secret agenda is that once we have the attention of the masses, we will begin to support and motivate positive ideas within them. Maybe the best solution for world hunger is hidden inside a 13-year-old boy from South Africa. The world needs his ideas. You have the power to make this happen. It is your voice that we will carry with us to business plan competitions and angel investors. And it is your voice that will carry us to the next stage of this process. I've talked a lot about Teemplay's goal of bringing hidden talent to the surface. Now let me show you some unique aspects of Teemplay's game New, which will help us do that. First, we are designing a tool set to be given away for free to everyone in the world. No one will have to pay to play New. We actually think that people should get paid if their contribution leads to value creation. So the artist who designed this tree can sell it to someone who is not artistically inclined, and that person can use this artist's tree in their fundraising video. Well, that's actually what we did. Everything you see in this video was created by someone else and then purchased by us in order to demonstrate that there's already a market for what we're trying to do. People are already making awesome things. They just need a place to bring them all. Second, New will have a guild system, which will allow players to solicit each other's help more effectively. This isn't necessarily like guilds you might think of in other games. The guilds in New will most likely align with real-world interests. Let me illustrate this with a hypothetical story. Imagine a guild of architects who build a city in New. Maybe this guild exists in the real world as a company, but they use New as a way to showcase their work to clients or draft buildings before they're created in the real world. Okay, so this guild really wants a custom addition to New, which will simulate weather, so they can see how a building will look on a sunny day or how it will hold up in a hurricane. So this Architects Guild goes and negotiates with a Programmers Guild in order to get this modification built. A few months later, people are starting to comment about how cool the Architect City is with all these cool weather effects. So Teemplay decides that this custom edition needs to be part of the common experience, so we buy it and we implement it into the game for everybody to use. Shortly thereafter, an Animation Guild gets a hold of this tool and starts to use it, but they notice that the sound isn't quite right, probably because the architects never really cared about the sound of the weather. So this Animation Guild takes this tool to another guild called Blind People Hear Better, which employs blind people who would otherwise have trouble finding work to help improve sound on various projects. Okay, I'll stop here, but this chain of events could go on forever. It's an upward spiral. In order to find the talent and great ideas that are hidden in individuals around the world, we need to give as many opportunities to shine as possible. One of the ways we will do this is through competitions. Okay, Teemplay will host tons of competitions for the best blank. I mean, it could be anything from best bunny rabbit model to best story to best mathematical simulation, who knows? These competitions will give players a chance to win cash prizes and let talent shine through to help companies, like Pixar for example, find the best of the best. In fact, we would be more than happy to step back even and let Pixar host their own competitions within New. Another way we will find talent is by letting our players help us. Teemplay will implement a tipping system within New. A person can pay $5 for the ability to access all the public worlds which exist in New. Public worlds exist in the infinite space. These are players' unrestricted creative territories which can be shared through New's network. Think the internet in 3D. Anyway, for $5 you have this search option. But this money won't go to Teemplay. Instead, it will go into a tipping account. Players will be able to tip each other for a job well done. I mean, wouldn't you give this guy a nickel if you could? This thing that we're looking at is awesome! It may only be a few pennies to you, but the community's actions are validating this person's accomplishment. Not only that, but if something is tipped thousands of dollars by the community, it's probably awesome, and probably worth our attention. So Teemplay will use the tipping system as a way to find the really good ideas to get behind. We're creating an upward spiral. Okay, I'm gonna cut myself off here. You can find more information below or come visit our website. Also, feel free to email us at teemplay@teemplay.com. We love hearing your ideas because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about what we can do together. Thank you.